Aloha, everyone. Thursday was a pretty solid day for the stock market with the NASDAQ up 0.32%, the Russell 2000 up 0.29%, and the S&P 500 up 0.12%. Despite the market being up, it had an overall feel of a constructive pullback session. I guess that's to say because we're still it was basically an inside day to the session before. In the S&P 500, the NASDAQ was overall a small session trading range, and while we didn't close near the highs, that's probably, I'm pretty sure, why it felt like a pullback overall. Volume was also lower than the session before, so since we traded like that, that is a positive. Heavier volume would actually have given today kind of a churning day, so lower volume is good. Our oscillators are trying to move off the highs on the NASDAQ, as you can see. In the Russell 2000, same similar situation. Not too bad. And remember, MACD never really got overbought in the Russell 2000. It was just kind of more the toppy end, but the line is starting to trend lower. So overall, technically, it would be better to continue to consolidate those recent gains that we just had than to just continue to rip higher. However, if we rip higher, I'll be way okay with it. S&P 500, though, same similar situation. Not that overbought anymore, and we're starting to roll down a little bit to get away from those overbought levels. RSI, similar situation, and MA or stochastics also in the same similar camp. The thing to remember here, though, is that these oscillators can obviously stay overbought while prices continue to rally, but it would be nice to see us abate. And even be better is if these oscillators come down while our indexes rally. That would be a really, really nice overall scenario to see. And last with the NASDAQ, we'll show you right there, still overbought levels. Despite the up day and the pullbackness to the up day, we only have one sell. MSTR is now triggering a 50% sell with it doing a confirmation close below the 20-day moving average on above average volume with BOP going negative. Very, very, very poor overall. And that with the signal date kind of gives us a, what is that now? 2% loss on the initial position. I think that's where I'm at on here. But if not, no matter what, if we close below the lows, I would say right here, this position will be fully gone. 165.02. A close below that level, MSTR will be a full sell. But besides MSTR, there are no other sells, and that just tells you that overall our portfolio, which is long a lot of stocks, more than normal, is doing very well, and can't ask for much more than that. We do have one stock for most people to take to add to the new positions. RARE, Rare Ultragenics Pharmaceutical Incorporated, is producing another pocket pivot point buy signal. It's breaking out of, technically, it's not that pretty because of all the heavy volume that with, isn't that funny? Look at all the distribution while it trended up from July to September last year. That's hilarious to see something like that to me. There's tons of distribution, no accumulation, but big uptrend. But anyway, you can see that we built a cup here from September, October, November, December to January, February. We handled here. Volume was low in the handle. Now we're registering some pocket pivot point signals as we start to break out. Rare is not a CanSlim quality stock, but it is in the perfect speculator scan. Once again, only 59 stocks currently out of 10,000 stocks qualify for this scan. Rare is one of them, and it was a recent IPO, which makes it even that much more interesting. So Rare is a new long position tonight. It's only in that scan, so it's a 2.5% of the account capital in that position. I don't know if the cash accounts have 2.5% available. But then also CRIS. So once again, it's a short base. I normally probably wouldn't take something like this. Maybe I'd want to see it like, okay, now if it can go sideways a few more days with Max Green Bop, I take it. But does everybody now remember CRMD? Because now this stock, wow, since that initial long signal, which was flagged or bolded on the website, the new positions page, the stock is now up 142% in under a month. Once again, remember, I took Vuzi. Whoops. So right now, Chris kind of has a similar chart pattern, not quite the same, but above average volume, breaking out. Max Green Bop has had Green Bop for over 20 sessions, so it's pretty good. The kind of base right here, kind of like this short stroke flat base, while volume wasn't below average, it was a lot lower than the previous uptrend, and now volume's ticking up again. So it looks good. 1% of the account capital, not going to risk everything on it. The base was super long, and we got to move like today. Yeah, sure, let's press it in a speculative position. But once again, even with CRMD, We couldn't really press that signal either because look at how short the base is whenever we do get that signal to go long. But as you can see, it's kind of similar situation. So we'll see if Chris works. If Chris doesn't work out, we're still going to have to risk about 5% to know if we're wrong. That's why it's got to be a smaller position. And rare is actually a little speculative too. I gave as a final cut loss 54.08, but you can be sure that if it moves below 56.48, I'm going to be out of all of it on an intraday basis.